Part 87. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 861. Chapter 861, Then we've made an agreement? Those who have no strength cannot control well. At this time, Mo Nan was very satisfied with Jiao Mianmian's voice, and was also very surprised. But he hoped she could give him more surprises. He felt that the song just now was not difficult enough. If Jiao Mianmian could sing this song well again, then he would be able to identify the person. Jiao Mianmian never expected that Mo Nan would ask her to sing a second song. She thought that after the song was finished, Mo Nan might say some polite words and then ask her to go back and wait for news. Anyway, she never thought that she would be attracted by Mo Nan. She once again met Mo Nan's eyes with suppressed excitement and excitement. She vaguely guessed some possibilities and couldn't help but feel a little excited. I can sing. Jiao Mianmian clenched her fists, trying to suppress her inner excitement. She reached out to hold the microphone, coughed lightly, adjusted her tone, and started singing a cappella again. Compared to the song just now, the song she is singing now is more suitable for singing a cappella. For most people, this song is somewhat difficult. But for Jiao Mianmian, she can control it easily. She was only halfway through singing when Mo Nan asked her to stop. Jiao Mianmian didn't know what he meant. She looked at Bai Yusheng at a loss. Old Mo, just say it directly. Bai Yusheng said directly, okay, just one sentence. Mo Nan was also very direct. He nodded and said, yes, it's her. Is that so sure? Well, when can she start recording? This girl just took on one of my dramas. I think she doesn't have much time recently. Let's do this when she has fewer dramas in a while. Let her come over and record a record. What do you think? Yeah, that's okay. Good things are worth waiting for. I can wait for her at her own time. Okay, then we have an agreement. Okay, it's settled. Jiao Mianmian on the side. It seems that she, the person involved, has not expressed her position yet. Why did they confirm the matter as if it had nothing to do with her? Although she will definitely not refuse anything, should I ask her anyway? Mian, what do you think? The two people who had already discussed it seemed to have just remembered that she was there. They turned their heads to look at her and asked for her opinion. Jiao Mian, I have no problem. Okay, then this matter is settled. Bai Yusheng walked up to her, stretched out his hand to touch her head, and said with a pleased look on his face, I knew you could do it. Follow Mo Nan well and make this album, and it will definitely sell well by then. Humph, which of the albums I produced is not a big hit? Mo Nan said with a proud face on the side. With all my years of experience in praising people, if I still can't praise this little girl, then what will happen to me after all these years? Even if it's all in vain, you can wash your hands and get out of the circle. I have been preparing this album for 3 years. It can be said that every song in this album is a masterpiece. I am confident that when the album comes out, it will definitely be my most amazing album. Bai Yusheng curled her lips and said without comment on Mo Nan's confidence, of course, I have never doubted your ability. Every song you handle is a masterpiece. Mian can sing your works, they are hers. Pleasure. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 862. Chapter 862. There is no one in Mo Nan's hands who cannot be popular. Jiao Mian also flattered her at the right time and said, Senior Mo, I am really honored to be able to collaborate with a music master like you. I can't believe that I really have such good luck. I will definitely try my best. Behave well and live up to your and brother Bai's expectations of me. Mo Nan turned his head to look at her. His face was calm, but he was still a little excited inside. I will also try my best to show your best level and keep every song of yours in the best state. Mian, let's make this album together, and I believe the next collaboration will be a pleasure. However, there are some things I want to say first. Private is private, work is work, and I may not be that easy to talk to at work. If you have something that dissatisfies me, I may also say something unpleasant. If you feel that you can't accept it, I can accept. Before Mo Nan could finish speaking, Chiao Mian rushed in and said, if I have any bad performance that makes you dissatisfied, please feel free to criticize me. Anyway, even diva-level figures like Sun Fei and others have been scolded by him. She is also fearless. There is probably no one who has never been scolded for singing Mo Nan's songs. Well, when you have free time, we will officially start recording the CD. Asterisk. After leaving Mo Jianan, Chiao Mian still felt like she was in a dream. Just like before she came, it still felt unreal. She still couldn't believe that she could sing Mo Nan's songs. The name Monan, when mentioned, is a name associated with a bunch of kings and queens. She is a newbie. How virtuous and capable, he can actually cooperate with Mo Nan. While waiting at the red light, Bai Yusheng turned his head and glanced at her. Seeing her dazed and confused expression, he couldn't help but curled his lips and said, "What are you thinking about? Your scenes are mainly concentrated in the first half of the month, and the second half it will be much easier for you. When the time comes, you can take the time to record a record. Mo Nan is the most professional musician, you don't have to worry about anything, he will teach you everything you don't understand." When Chiao Mian heard his voice, she blinked and slowly turned her head to meet his eyes. Her voice was a little dazed. "Brother Bai, can I really sing Mo Nan's songs? Tell me, I'm not dreaming." Bar. Of course not. Bai Yusheng could also understand her mood. Seeing her blankly looking at him, he found it cute and couldn't help but reached out and rubbed her head. "You are very lucky to be Mo, the last collaborator in the South Retreat project. I've known him for almost 5 years, and this record is indeed the one he spent the most time on and made with the most care. I have a hunch that you can become an instant hit with this record. There is no one in Mo Nan's hands who cannot be popular." A work to get out of the circle, Chiao Mian was stunned. Yes, after making this record, he announced his retirement. He is getting older, and it's time to give himself a holiday. Suddenly I felt so much pressure. Chiao Mian bit her lip and frowned slightly. Then this record can be considered his last album if I don't perform well enough. "No," Bai Yusheng said in a gentle voice, "you have to believe in yourself and him. Just now, Mo Nan told me that he was very satisfied with your voice and said that I brought him a big surprise." End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 863. Chapter 863. I can't help but want to be nice to you. Anyway, don't think too much. Since he has chosen you, he is naturally very satisfied with you. It's not too early now, shall I send you back? Listening to his gentle voice and his patient comfort, Chiao Mian felt warm in her heart. "Brother Bai, thank you. Thank you for helping me connect the dots and giving me such a good opportunity, and thank you for your patience in talking to me so much." At this moment, she couldn't help but think about how great it would be if Bai Yusheng was really her brother. She really wanted to have a brother who was so kind to her and pampered her. Those who have older brothers must be very happy. It would be even happier to have a brother like Bai Yusheng. I don't know if his lost sister can be found again. If she is found back, Bai Yusheng will definitely dote on her very much. He was so kind to a person like her who had no blood relationship. It would definitely be better for his biological sister who has been separated from him for many years. Suddenly, she felt a little envious of his sister. "Thank you." Bai Yusheng looked into her eyes. was silent for a while, and said with a smile, I have my own selfish motives for helping you. If it were anyone else, he wouldn't bother to bother. Chiao Mianmian's heart thumped. Selfish? What selfish motives do you have? Didn't I say that I feel very relaxed and comfortable with you? Bai Yusheng smiled and thought about it for a while before continuing, you make me feel like you are my sister. So, I can't help but want to be nice to you. This is my selfishness. Chiao Mianmian was touched by his words. She pursed her lips and remained silent for a while, then said with some hesitation, Brother Bai, there is something I don't know whether I should say or not. Let's talk about it, but I'm afraid that he might think she's trying to have a relationship. Bai Yusheng raised his eyebrows. In front of me, you don't have to worry. If you have anything to say, just say it directly. Chiao Mianmian was silent for a while, then looked at his handsome face and said softly, I also feel that Brother Bai is like my brother. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to have a relationship or anything, but Brother Bai is you are so good to me. I feel like I have an extra brother. Bai Yusheng was stunned for a moment, and then a pleasant smile overflowed from his eyes. Mo Yesi and I have been friends for many years, and I am several years older than him. Now that you are with him, it is okay to treat me as your brother. Besides, I think it would be great if you were my sister. He really likes this girl Chiao Mianmian. Although she is not a biological sister, it is okay to recognize a girl you like as your sister. Chiao Mianmian was stunned for a moment and hesitated, is this possible? Of course. I have already told others that you are my cousin. Soon, this matter will spread. If anyone asks in the future, you will admit it directly. In this way, there will be no more rumors among the crew in the future. And also, if you become my cousin, no one in the circle will dare to have any ideas about you. Actually, as long as she reveals that she is the girlfriend of President Mo, no one will dare to challenge her. However, judging from the current situation, she probably is not prepared to make it public. He understood Mo Yesi, that guy was very possessive, but he was afraid that it was not his decision to hide his relationship. That was Chiao Mianmian's decision. It's understandable if you think about it. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 864. Chapter 864 Don't be so immoral. Her career is currently not improving at all. If she makes her relationship public now, it will definitely not be so good for her career. He was not surprised that Chiao Mianmian would choose to hide his relationship. He was surprised that Mo Yesi was willing to agree. It can be seen that the guy really likes Chiao Mianmian. That's why I'm willing to make such compromises. Chiao Mianmian had guessed Bai Yusheng's intention before telling people that she was his cousin. Now that he said it, it was exactly as she guessed. Her heart became more and more moved. She couldn't help but think about it again, how great it would be if Bai Yusheng was her brother. Being his sister must be a very happy thing. Asterisk. Bai Yusheng sent Chiao Mianmian back to the hotel. The two said good night to each other and separated. When she arrived at the floor where she lived, Chiao Mianmian took out her room key card. As soon as she opened the door and reached out to insert the key card, a black figure suddenly appeared in front of her eyes. She was pulled over by the black figure, and just as she was about to scream, she heard a familiar deep voice above her head, "It's me." Chiao Mianmian was startled, her eyes widened, and she raised her head to look at the man hugging her in surprise. Mo Yesi. Why did he fly to F-City again? A familiar scent penetrated the tip of her nose, allowing her to completely confirm his identity. The key card was not plugged in, the lights in the room were not turned on, and everything was dark. Her heartbeat, which had been accelerated by fright, slowly calmed down. Mo Yesi, why are you here? Come here as soon as you come, without even saying a word to her. It's okay not to say a word to her, but still hiding in the room waiting for her without turning on the light. She was scared to death just now. The man gently sniffed the fragrance of her hair and whispered, "Aren't you happy that I'm here?" "No." "How about a surprise for you?" "Fine." It means that she was not surprised just now, but frightened. His way of surprise is a bit too special. If you are timid, you might actually faint from fear. Of course, Chiao Mian complained about these words in her heart. If she says it, it will definitely dampen someone's enthusiasm. "I'm hungry." A slightly aggrieved voice sounded above Chiao Mian's head again. The man's voice was low, sexy, and full of magnetism. When such a voice was a little aggrieved, it seemed to be coquettish, making people feel soft in their hearts. "You didn't have dinner." As soon as Chiao Mian finished asking, she thought that he must have run out of food. Calculating the time, he must have rushed to the airport as soon as he got off work. There was organic food on the plane, but as a picky person like him, he would definitely not eat it. Thinking of him coming to her hungry, Chiao Mian felt softer in her heart. She reached out and touched his face, and even her tone became much softer. "Then I will go to dinner with you now, okay?" Mo Yesi buried his head in her neck, breathing hot breath. "I don't want to eat." Chiao Mian reached out and pushed him away a little. "Didn't you say you were hungry? Let's go eat first." "I don't want to eat." Mo Yesi leaned over again, hugged her tightly, took a deep breath, and said in a low voice, "Baby, can I eat you first? Then eat." Chiao Mian. Her face felt hot, and she punched his chest in embarrassment. "Don't be so immoral. If you keep doing this, I will ignore you." "All right." Mo Yesi then let go of his hand and said angrily, "I'm going to eat." "But, honey, can't I eat you first?" End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 865. Chapter 865. She is really scared. Mo, yeah, si. Okay, let's eat first. Knowing that any more teasing would really annoy the little kitten in his arms, Mo Yesi accepted it and said, "But I don't want to go out to eat, so just stay in the room and order takeout." "Then can you let me turn on the light first?" "Go to my room." Mo Yesi put his arms around her waist and led her out. "I booked a room, but your room is too small." Chiao Mian didn't say anything and followed him out. In fact, the room she lives in is not small at all. But it might be too small for Mo Yesi. This man only stays in the presidential suite when he travels. Asterisk. Arrived upstairs. Mo Yesi opened the door, let go, and walked into the room one step ahead of Chiao Mian. When Chiao Mian walked to the living room, she saw him walking towards her with a bouquet of pink roses in his hand. Walking to her, he handed the flowers in his hand to her. "When I came here, I passed a flower shop and bought a bouquet." Chiao Mian took the flower from his hand, feeling a little funny inside. Mo Yesi is really a very typical straight man. He gave her flowers before, and she seemed to like them very much. Then he gave her flowers every time. Moreover, it's always the same pink rose every time. In fact, besides pink roses, she likes many flowers. "Thank you, husband, I like it very much." Although it was a typical straight man's approach, Chiao Mian stood up on her tiptoes and kissed him gently on the face. He passed by a flower shop and thought of buying her a bouquet of flowers. It means that he has her in his heart all the time. This feeling of being remembered all the time is great. When she was about to retreat, Mo Yesi hugged her waist tightly and brought her to him. He lowered his head and spread his warm breath on one of her cheeks. "What did you call me just now? I didn't hear you clearly, please call again." That sound of husband sounds so delicate and soft, he likes it very much. Chiao Mian smiled and glared at him. "It's not that you didn't hear clearly, you must have heard clearly." No mo yes he lied, telling lies with his eyes open, and looking serious. I really didn't hear clearly. Baby, tell me again, okay? Don't want. The man held her in his arms too hard, so Chiao Mian stretched out her hand to push him. Mo yesi, let me go. I'll put the flowers away. I'll let you go if I call. Mo yesi was domineering and refused to let go. His handsome face moved closer to her, and his breathing became hot. I screamed just now, why are you embarrassed now? Chiao Mian glared at him a little funny. Didn't you just say that you didn't hear clearly? Well, it's not very clear, but I just seemed to hear you calling me husband just now. Baby, tell me, did I hear you correctly? The man is getting closer and closer to her. That handsome and deep face was enlarging little by little in front of her eyes. Feeling that his breath was getting hotter and hotter, Chiao Mian felt a thump in her heart. When she raised her head to meet his eyes, which had also turned dark, she panicked, put her hand on his chest, and called out urgently, "Husband." She was really scared. Last night, she could feel that he had been suppressing his desire. Obviously I really wanted to touch her, but I kept resisting. It must be uncomfortable to endure it. Chiao Mian felt a little weak when she saw his look. She felt, she hadn't recovered yet. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 866. Chapter 866. No matter who it is, no one can touch her. What are you afraid of? Mo Yesi looked at the panicked look of the girl in his arms, hooked up his lips and gave a low laugh. He held her chin and brought it to the corner of her lips, biting gently, and said in a low voice, "Am I going to eat you? I just asked you to call me husband, but I'm afraid it will end up like this." Mo Yesi. Chiao Mian looked at him pitifully. "I'm so tired. I want to go to bed early tonight. So, don't mess with her. Her small body cannot withstand his torture for the time being." The man laughed softly again, amused by her pitiful look, and felt funny in his heart. "I didn't say what I wanted to do, or are you hinting that I want to do something? In fact, this day Fei I'm very tired after flying back and forth, and I want to go to bed early, but if you really want it, honey, I can." "No, I don't want to." Chiao Mian immediately stretched out her hand to cover his mouth. "Since I am very tired and you are also very tired, let's go to bed early. Please hurry up and ask someone to bring something up. I'll take a shower first." "Take a bath." Mo Yesi raised his eyebrows, and his hot lips touched her palm. "Do you want to come together? I will rub your back. I'll wash it myself." Are you sure?" "I am sure." "Okay." The man seemed to feel a little regretful and sighed softly. "If you change your mind, you can call me at any time." Asterisk. Chiao Mian came out of the shower and saw Mo Yesi standing by the floor-to-ceiling window answering the phone. His figure is tall and slender, and he is wearing a black nightgown. His figure standing by the floor-to-ceiling window is very attractive. Chiao Mian walked over lightly. As soon as she walked behind him, she heard him say a name in an extremely cold voice, "Shenro? You should ask her what she did. I don't know what happened between her and the fourth child. You asked the wrong person." "Sentiment? It's because of our friendship over the years that I didn't pursue it. Otherwise, you think this matter would just be let go. No matter who it is, no one can touch her. I will leave this here today. Even if it is you, if you dare to try to take her idea, I will turn against you. Yan-san, if you are interceding for her, then you don't need to say any more. I can't forgive her. Because she made an unforgivable mistake. Opportunity. I gave her a chance, but she didn't take it seriously. Okay, I don't want to hear it anymore. If you want to plead for her in the future, don't call me. Moyesi hung up the phone. He turned around with a gloomy face, and when he saw Xiao Mian standing behind him after taking a bath, the layer of ice on his face seemed to melt instantly, and his eyes became warm. Finished wash. He reached out and gently pulled her to his side, looked at her still wet hair, and took her hand to the bed. Wait, I'll get the hair dryer. After a while, he brought a hair dryer over. After adjusting the setting, he stood by the bed and blew Xiao Mian's hair. Xiao Mian sat on the edge of the bed and let him blow it obediently. She found that it seemed that ever since she got married to Moyesi, he had been the one blowing her hair every time they were together. She will feel uncomfortable at first. Now, waiting for him to dry her hair has become a habit. Her hair is soft, smooth, and feels like silk in her hands. Moyesi held a bunch of her hair between his fingers, and when it was almost dry, he couldn't bear to throw it away. Moyesi, can I ask you a question? Xiao Mian thought about what she had just heard. After hesitating for a while, she decided to ask him face to face and ask him clearly. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 867. Chapter 867, Everything is up to you. She didn't want to make random guesses in her mind. Baby, what do you want to ask? I just heard that you were talking to Yan Shaoqing on the phone. Well, Yan-san called me and chatted with him for a while. Well, I didn't eavesdrop on purpose. I just happened to hear you talking about Shenro. Can I know what happened to Shenro? Moyesi was stunned for a moment. Xiao Mian looked at his reaction and said, if it's not convenient to tell you, just pretend I didn't ask. It's nothing inconvenient. Moyesi turned off the hair dryer, put it on the bedside table, touched her fluffy and soft hair, sat down next to her and said, I will tell you whatever you want to know. Just now, he and I were talking about Shenro, and he called me to plead for Shenro. He hopes I can forgive Shenro. But, you rejected him. Xiao Mian thought for a while and then asked, did Shenro do something that particularly made you angry? What's up? She did something bad to you. Things that are bad for me. Xiao Mian's eyes showed surprise. So, you are angry because of me and her? Yeah. Moyesi nodded. What bad thing did she do to me? Xiao Mian looked puzzled. I don't know. When the scandal broke out between you and Suzy, many trolls scolded you and smeared you in various Weibo comment sections. Do you still remember this matter? Moyesi gently combed her hair with his fingers, enjoying the feeling of her soft hair passing through his fingers. Xiao Mian was startled, and then her expression changed. Is this related to Shenro? At that time, there were many trolls smearing and attacking her. And when those Navy officers saw it, they knew that someone was hired specifically to blackmail her. It's just that she thought those Navy troops were all the work of Jiao Angzhen. After all, Jiao Angzhen and Suzy had not broken up yet. The scandal between her and Suzy spread, and Jiao Angzhen saw it, and Jiao Angzhen would definitely not remain indifferent. Moyesi nodded and said directly, she hired those Navy troops. Xiao Mian had already guessed a little bit, but she was still surprised when she heard Moyesi say that those Navy soldiers were hired by Shenro. It was actually the Navy hired by Shenro to hack her. She was silent for a while, and she probably guessed what was going on between Moyesi and Shenro. Moyesi must have found out about this matter and had a showdown with Shenro. The two of them must have been very unhappy. So, are you unhappy with Shenro because of this matter? Xiao Mian hesitated for a few seconds, and then asked, then what are you going to do? Shenro has been his friend for more than 20 years. Even if there is a moment of unpleasantness, the stalemate will not last long. he will eventually forgive Shenro. After all, the matter of hiring trolls to smear her is not too serious. Because of Gongzili's clarification of the scandal, it did not have any bad consequences for her in the end. Baby, you should answer this question. Mo Yesi did not avoid her gaze, looked directly at her, and said frankly, everything she did has caused harm to you, so how should we deal with this matter? It's up to you to decide. Chiao Mian, is it the same as I say how to deal with it? Of course, Mo Yesi replied without any hesitation, everything is up to you. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 868. Chapter 868. It's okay not to have such a friend. Real. Then, what if I say? Chiao Mian bit her lip and hesitated, and after a few seconds she said again, I hope you'd better stop interacting with her in the future. What do you think? Would he feel that her request was too much? Chiao Mian also knew that Mo Yesi liked her. In his heart, she occupies a certain position. But she still wasn't confident that he would agree to her request just now. Shenro has been friends with him for more than 20 years. It is a bit overwhelming to ask them not to contact you again. She didn't expect Mo Yesi to agree. So when he was silent for a while and didn't answer her right away, Chiao Mian was just about to tell him not to answer, but she heard him give an answer that surprised her. Okay, she and I will never interact again in the future. Chiao Mian. You agreed? Mo Yesi looked at her, isn't this what you wanted? But, haven't you been friends who have known each other for a long time? Are you really willing to do it for me? Before he finished speaking, Mo Yesi reached out and hugged her into his arms. She and I have known each other for a long time, but you are my wife and the one who will accompany me throughout my life. What is more important, friends or family? I know it in my heart. Besides, if she does something to hurt you, even if she is a good friend, I will never tolerate it. My friend should know how to love you. Instead of doing things that hurt you even though you know how much I care about you. When she did this, she no longer considered the so-called friendship. It's okay not to have such a friend. Mo Yesi does not have deep feelings for Shenro. Although, they did know each other for more than 20 years. Shenro is also the only friend of the opposite around him. But he is a cold-blooded person by nature. Even if someone he has known for many years, if his temperament does not please him, he will not fall in love with that person just because they stay with him for a long time. If you don't like it, you just don't like it. Over the years, his feelings towards Shenro were neither very fond nor disliked. Because we have known her for a long time, I can be more tolerant of her in some matters. This made Shenro his only friend of the opposite sex. But this solemnity does not mean anything. In other words, there is no comparison between Shenro and Chiao Mian. This answer can be said to be full marks. Chiao Mian couldn't help but raise the corners of her lips. You agreed to this yourself, I didn't force you. If you regret it in the future, I will not regret it. I have made it clear to her that from now on, she and I will no longer be friends. After Mo Yesi finished speaking, he looked like he was begging for praise. Honey, do you think my performance is okay? Chiao Mian suppressed a smile, pretended to think about it for a moment, and then nodded. Well, it's okay. Then if I perform well, do you want to give me a reward? How do you want to be rewarded? Mo Yesi lowered his eyes, his deep eyes fell on her delicate pink lips like cherry blossoms, his eyes darkened, and he whispered, I want a kiss, is that okay? Chiao Mian, are you sure it's just a kiss? Yeah. Mo Yesi nodded, his handsome face magnified in front of her eyes, and all his breath fell on her lips. It's just a kiss. Baby, is that okay? End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 869. Chapter 869 Just kiss you, nothing else. Chiao Mian didn't trust him very much. Seeing the man's handsome face getting closer and closer, she reached out and pushed him gently. Mo Yesi, I have to get up early tomorrow. Okay, I know. You have to go to bed early tonight. Okay, I know. So you can't. Okay, I know. When the last word of the word fell, the man's hot lips also fell, gently covering her lips, and said slowly, Baby, I just kiss you, nothing else. Asterisk. This kiss lasted for a long time. As the kiss progressed to the back, it gradually became a little out of control. Fortunately, Mo Yesi kept his promise this time. Chiao Mian was lying on the bed with her face flushed, reading the script. Listening to the sound of water running from the bathroom, she guessed that Mo Yesi must have taken a cold shower again. Asterisk. Early the next morning. Mo Yesi got up after 5 o'clock in the morning. He originally flew over to see Chiao Mian during work, but in order not to delay his work progress, he had to fly back before dawn. When he got up, Chiao Mian also opened her eyes in a daze. Seeing the slender figure next to her, she was stunned for a while before she was fully awake, and then she slowly came to her senses. She reached out and rubbed her eyes. Just as she was about to get up, she was held down. The man's low and gentle voice came down, You don't have to get up, just keep sleeping. I'll pack up and leave in a while. Chiao Mian is indeed very sleepy. However, thinking that he was flying around so hard just for her, how could she continue to sleep with peace of mind? Just woke up, her voice was still rustling, Wait for me, I will take you to the airport. Need not. Mo Yesi pushed her back, pulled up the quilt and covered her, bent down and kissed her forehead gently, Baby, you can continue to sleep, there is no need to see me off. I have to leave soon, maybe I don't have time to wait for you. Just keep sleeping and I'll call you when I arrive. As soon as he finished speaking, his cell phone rang. Chiao Mian saw him answer the phone, chatted for about a minute and then hung up. Baby, I have to go. With reluctance in his eyes, Mo Yesi lowered his head and kissed Chiao Mian on the lips, I ordered breakfast for you. You must eat breakfast before going to the set. All right. Chiao Mian saw that he was really busy, so she gave up the idea. Then I'm leaving. Mo Yesi touched her head, I'll come over to see you when I'm free. Mo Yesi. Chiao Mian suddenly felt a little sorry for the man in front of her. He must not have slept well last night. I had gone to bed late, but I still had to get up so early. She could see black shadows under his eyes. Huh. Mo Yesi sat down by the bed and looked at her with gentle eyes, Baby, is there anything else you want to say to me? Actually, you don't have to run like this every day. Although it was very happy to see him every day, if this happiness was based on the need for him to keep running on both sides, Chiao Mian still couldn't bear to see him working so hard. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 870. Chapter 870 I am willing to do everything. Chiao Mian didn't trust him very much. Seeing the man's handsome face getting closer and closer, she reached out and pushed him gently, Mo Yesi, I have to get up early tomorrow. Okay, I know. You have to go to bed early tonight. Okay, I know. So you can't. Okay, I know. Asterisk. Early the next morning. Mo Yesi got up after 5 o'clock in the morning. He originally flew over to see Chiao Mian during work, but in order not to delay his work progress, he had to fly back before dawn. When he got up, Chiao Mian also opened her eyes in a daze. Seeing the slender figure next to her, She was stunned for a while before she was fully awake, and then she slowly came to her senses. She reached out and rubbed her eyes. Just as she was about to get up, she was held down. The man's low and gentle voice came down, "You don't have to get up, just keep sleeping. I'll pack up and leave in a while." Chiao Mian is indeed very sleepy. However, thinking that he was flying around so hard just for her, how could she continue to sleep with peace of mind? Just woke up, her voice was still rustling, "Wait for me, I will take you to the airport." "Need not." Moyesi pushed her back, pulled up the quilt and covered her, bent down and kissed her forehead gently. "Baby, you can continue to sleep, there is no need to see me off. I have to leave soon, maybe I don't have time to wait for you. Just keep sleeping and I'll call you when I arrive." As soon as he finished speaking, his cell phone rang. Chiao Mian saw him answer the phone, chatted for about a minute and then hung up. "Baby, I have to go." With reluctance in his eyes, Moyesi lowered his head and kissed Chiao Mian on the lips. "I ordered breakfast for you. You must eat breakfast before going to the set." "All right." Chiao Mian saw that he was really busy, so she gave up the idea. "Then I'm leaving." Moyesi touched her head, "I'll come over to see you when I'm free." Moyesi. Chiao Mian suddenly felt a little sorry for the man in front of her. He must not have slept well last night. "I had gone to bed late, but I still had to get up so early." She could see black shadows under his eyes. "Huh." Moyesi sat down by the bed and looked at her with gentle eyes. "Baby, is there anything else you want to say to me? Actually, you don't have to run like this every day." Although it was very happy to see him every day, if this happiness was based on the need for him to keep running on both sides, Chiao Mian still couldn't bear to see him working so hard. "Why, I came to see you, aren't you happy?" "Happy, but I feel sorry for you when you are so tired." Chiao Mian got up from the bed and reached out to touch his eyes. "You can't even rest well like this. From now on, we can just meet on weekends." When they were in Yunchinj before, the two of them did not meet as frequently as they do now. I don't know why she arrived in F City, but this man flew over to look for her every day. Could it be that you are worried about her being here alone? It's tiring and troublesome for you to run every day, and it will also affect your work. I think it's actually quite good for us to meet once a week. Moyesi frowned slightly, "But, I don't feel tired, and I don't feel troubled either. Does it affect you that I come here so often?" Chiao Mian really felt sorry for him, but Moyesi felt the disgust from her. Chiao Mian, "No. Then you don't have to worry about me." Moyesi touched her head and said softly, "I really don't feel tired. Even if I am tired, it is still a happy burden for me. In short, everything is fine. I do it willingly, so you don't have to worry about what I do. Okay, go ahead and sleep. It's still early, and you can still sleep for 2 more hours." Chiao Mian saw that she couldn't move him, so she had no choice but to give up. Forget it, if this man is willing to run and endure hardships, let him do it. She could tell that if she continued to persuade him, he might have something in mind. He would feel that there must be other reasons why she prevented him from coming. After all, this man has the attribute of being a jealous person, and he is still the kind of jealous person who can easily be overturned. Asterisk. After Moyesi left, Chiao Mian quickly fell asleep again. She slept until the alarm clock rang, then rubbed her eyes and got up. Just after washing up, I heard the doorbell ringing outside. Opening the door, I saw the hotel waiter bringing breakfast. She took it, returned to the room, opened the bag and saw that Moyesi had ordered various breakfasts for her. There are porridge and side dishes, bread and milk, as well as fruits and desserts. Chiao Mian felt that Moyesi was raising her like a pig. She was alone and ordered so much for her. But as soon as she opened her eyes, there were so many delicious breakfasts waiting for her, which felt pretty good. Asterisk. After breakfast, Chiao Mian went to the crew on time to report. After arriving on the set, she was very sensitive to the fact that the attitude of the people on the set towards her was different. If I was more polite before, I am very polite now. She was not surprised either. Probably Bai Yisheng's words were spread again last night. So, everyone on the crew now knows that she is Bai Yisheng's cousin. The attitude toward her, a relative of the director, is definitely better. When Chiao Mian reported to the set, she ran into Tu Yuli, who had just arrived on the set. The two bumped into each other. Even if Chiao Mian wanted to keep a distance from him, she couldn't pretend to turn a blind eye. She hesitated for a moment, then stepped forward to say hello, Senior Tu, good morning. Hearing her address to him, Tu Yuli frowned slightly, pursed his lips, nodded and said, good morning. After saying hello, Chiao Mian was ready to leave. Ms. Chiao Tu Yuli stopped her as she passed by. Chiao Mian had no choice but to stop. She asked in a very polite and distant tone, what's wrong, Senior Tu? End of this chapter.